welcome to Module 1 of 4 Weeks of Loving Your Brain. I hope you enjoyed your pre-task, your intention setting. Let me know. Have you been able to wake up a bit early? This module, if you've already seen the workbook, you'll kind of already know, but this module will explain to you why I wanted you to not only wake up early, but just start to think about some changes that you'd like to make over the duration of this course. Also, your affirmations, the gift that you were sent and received. I hope you've been practicing speaking life over your life and just trying to grasp the power of your words and getting into a habit of doing daily affirmations. If you haven't been able to wake up early, or you haven't started thinking about your intentions or you're doing your affirmations, don't worry, you can start right now. There's no time like the present. Just go back and watch the pre-work training. I change the name of that all the time. And just have a look, start fresh. I don't want you to put any pressure on yourself. For the whole duration of this course, there is something that you have to know, and it's take your time, go at your own pace. There are 4 modules, it is 4 weeks. But you can do this at whatever speed and over whatever length of time you prefer. Practice makes perfect, and a lot of us struggle with consistency. So this is just a time where we can learn, practice, and see the benefits in being consistent. When you do something for a certain period of time, and the benefits start to show up in your life, it's going to be hard to go back. Don't get me wrong. I always do things and they work for a while and it's great, and then I just end up stopping them or get distracted doing something else. But this is why I'm doing the course too. This is why I consistently do this course. It's just a load of things that work, that have helped me, and I just keep checking on them and keep kind of giving myself reminders to make sure that I'm keeping up with them. But this is how we do it. So practice makes perfect, and you can start fresh every single day. This module is called Positive Change, and we are going to talk about some changes that you can make, some of your own and some that I'm going to suggest and advise you to take on board. Changes that you can make that will 100% make a difference to not only your day, not only your day-to-day life and your interactions, but how you feel, how you see yourself, your perception. This is a way for us to get some things in place, get some goals set, and start by thinking about the first steps into loving on and understanding our brains. So, a reminder, it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. It doesn't mean that that thing will stick forever, because we're all human. But if you have something in your life that you want to start doing or stop doing, or if you just want to put some energy into a certain area of your life to see change in that area, getting past the first 21 days will make everything so much easier. The positive changes that I have mentioned in the workbook are, like I said, ones that work for me, have worked for everyone that I've spoken to about them, and they're scientifically proven as well. Aside from those, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more in more detail, thinking about some of the things that you put and included in your intention setting. If you didn't get around to that, then it's a great time to consider it now. Think about some things in your life, some areas that you want to see change. It could be anything. It could be from not just habits like, things that you're going to do, which I've mentioned some habits that I want you to pick up in this module, but also think about areas of your life that you might want to see some progression in. Think about some areas in your life that you want to see change in that might not necessarily be physical or, outward. So, we can pick up habits, and we can change habits, and we can stop doing things like smoking or, eating better, or all these things that we can pick up that make us feel good and work for a better and healthier life. But, and also removing some, so stop smoking, stop watching shows that make us feel bad about ourselves, whatever. But also, what about internally? So, did you join this course and think about things like being less anxious, being, free from fear, trusting more, seeing yourself in a positive light, believing in yourself, combating procrastination. The list goes on. Whatever it is that you had written down when you did your intention setting, or whatever comes to mind when I talk about this positive change and changing something in 21 days now, I want you to, if you haven't done them, write them down. And if you have, then I want you to commit to some. I want you to look at the ones that you wrote down and think about what ones stand out the most and what ones that you definitely want to commit to. There's no point trying to take on like 50 things. You could have written down loads, loads of things you want to change, loads of areas of your life that you want to improve on. We've all got loads, but pick a few out that you feel will benefit your life and bring a positive impact to you and people around you. And yeah, let's focus on those for the month. And also, let's make an effort to stick to, as best we can, the things that I've mentioned in this workbook. So, let's go ahead and go through them. There are 3 things that I want you to start practicing and start doing as of tomorrow, literally. So you've already practiced waking up a little bit earlier, and now I'm going to explain why. So the first thing that look, I keep doing that. The first positive change that I want you to make, and that will make a massive difference in your life, is to create a morning routine. So this is the reason why you have been practicing waking up a little bit early. The quality of our lives depends on our routine and the things that we do on a regular basis. When you wake up in the morning and you literally just get up, get ready, get out the house, rush, I'm not saying that, some people feel like they operate good or feel like they operate better when they're just rushing and out the door. But when you do that, you are just on autopilot. Your day is not, it's just all about the rat race. It's all about whatever you've got to do that day. It's all about whatever, if you've got to work, if you've got to look after children, if you've got to study. It's just like you're on autopilot with a mission and you're just doing it. And then you can find that when you finish doing that thing, you're then on autopilot again, doing whatever it is you've got to do next. And it's like, when do you rest? When is your day yours? When do you focus on yourself? Not all of us struggle with our mental health. Not everybody has constant anxiety or regular anxiety or depression or struggles with ADHD or an array of things. I could go on. But not everybody has something that they've been diagnosed with. But all of us have to make an effort to look after our brains, to do things that prevent us from falling into patterns like that. Some things can't be prevented, and sometimes the situations that happen that are out of our control that affect our mental health. But if you have yourself in mind, if you are mindful about what's going in your body, and that's through your eyes, through your ears, through your mouth, whatever, and how you're treating yourself and how your day pans out, then you gain more control and you can actually start to see where certain areas of your life, it was just, you were just on autopilot and you just didn't ever look inwardly and put yourself first. So what I want you to do is to create a morning routine that sees you putting yourself first the moment you wake up. So if that means you've got to set your alarm a bit early, I would say, well, basically, the first 20 minutes of your day after waking up, your brain is, apart from being shattered, your brain absorbs, the things that you absorb in the first 20 minutes affect the way your day goes. Your brain literally soaks it all up because it's it's the first thing. Same with before you go to sleep. What goes into your mind at the end bit of the day makes a huge difference. So for you to gain a bit more control and for you to not be on autopilot, letting everything get in the way and ruin your day because you're just like, ow, spend at least 10 to 15 minimum minutes on yourself. Whatever it might be, whatever it is that makes you feel good. Now, some of us have got bad habits that make us feel good, so you don't want to be doing all them. I've given some suggestions in the workbook and given you examples on, the kind of things that I do, but Why don't you, when you get up, why don't you just start with asking yourself, how do you feel? Just asking yourself, maybe write this down so you can remember, little pointers for your morning routine. But before you get out of bed and start maybe, doing some dancing that makes you feel good, because that's great, or it sounds like what is Penny on about? Just get up and start dancing. No, but I mean, you'll know what I mean when I explain my routine. But before anything, as soon as you get up, don't check your phone. Leave your phone out of this, or your social media at least. If you want to use your phone to put on, some uplifting music, or to, read something from a uplifting blog, or watch an uplifting YouTube video, which are all ideas. Before that, just ask yourself, how do you feel? Just connect with yourself. And also ask yourself what it is that you want to get from today. Write down your intentions for the day. Don't get like over the top and write like a 1,000,000-line to-do list, but just like what you'd like to achieve today, what you'd like to get out of the day, some mini goals, like would you like to do an act of kindness, or would you like to apply for a job, or just something that is like, just set some intentions. So do that, and then have a little routine that you follow, and it can change, but maybe stick to a set one this week that sees you doing something that makes you feel good, that makes you feel centered, focused on yourself, for the first 15 minimum. I'm not letting that 10 get in. For the first 15 minutes of your day minimum. So, and I'm not showing off, but I do spend at least an hour on my morning routine now. I do sometimes wake up late. I do sometimes go to bed too late and just cannot get up. But my ideal morning routine would be minimum an hour. And what I would do is I would get up, I would pray, I'd give thanks for my day. Sometimes I accidentally fall into the habit of checking my social media, but then you can just start feeling odd out of nowhere, and it's like, hey, let me catch this. So I'm better at catching it. I don't do it anymore, because that can just drown out your day as well. You see something on social media that just does your head in, and you're like, feeling all Yeah, so I give thanks. I thank God for things that happened the day before. I thank God for the possibilities of the day. I speak life over my life. I do my affirmations. I know loads of the ones that I need off by heart right now. So I just speak them out loud. I thank God in advance for stuff. So when I wake up, I do a lot of talking, basically. That's how I start. Then I would put on some uplifting music, listen to a nice song, dance around a bit, just get my energy up with a coffee sometimes, or a herbal tea. And then I will spend some time reading. So I'll be reading my Bible or reading whatever book that I'm on. And I'm actually thinking about this morning. And then I will do a little bit of like a housework or a chore that I've been putting off, because I am the master of putting things off. And that makes me feel good because I'm a step closer to getting that done. And yeah, that's just a little example. That's basically this morning. So that's just a little example of my morning routine, and that really does, when I stick to it, and the days that I do it, because consistency is hard sometimes, but it just changes everything. It changes how I think, it changes what I'm focused on, it changes where my intentions are. Like I've just named everything, but I mean, like, so I'm actually not just doing what I think I have to do. I'm actually thinking, okay, so this morning I set a plan to blah blah blah, and when little things come my way that might annoy me or throw me off, I'm like, nope, let me just keep my eyes on what I wanted to get out of this day. So it's great, and it makes you feel great. So I hope you have started waking up early and are excited to see the benefits of your morning routine. Share your ideas if anything comes to mind that you are including or you think would be great, or that you already do in the mornings that actually benefit your day and that actually help you to just get rid of some of the negativity or bad vibes from a dream you had or the day before. Share. Let's leave a comment and post in the group, and just let us know what you're doing for your morning routine, or you can private message me what you're doing for your morning routine and how it's going. So I'm looking forward to hearing about those and getting some tips from you, because I love changing mine up. I will actually have to change it so I don't get bored. And that's another thing to bear in mind. If it does start feeling like you're doing it well for a couple of weeks and everything's going good, maybe switch something up a bit so that you don't start getting bored of it. And then, you know, changing the routine a little bit, still having one, but changing it and adding new things and taking away and mixing it up will ensure that your brain's still stimulated, and then you are better at your consistency. You will be more consistent. You won't find that you're like, no, I need something else because I'm just too used to that. And with ADHD and with humans in general as well, you can find that you are searching for stimulation sometimes, whether, unfortunately, with people with ADHD, we search for stimulation even though the thing in front of us is actually stimulating us. We can still search for stimulation. And sometimes when we're doing things that are a bit boring, our brain wanders off searching for stimulation. So, you know, patterns can get, routines, you know, too monotonous can just get boring and can just get a bit meh. So don't let this be one, because your morning routine is, you know, going to be the thing that changes everything, one of the things. So switch it up a bit as well. Use your notebook to write down some ideas now. So you can pause this video if you're doing it alongside, and yeah, just write a list or maybe write some ideas of stuff that could be, that are uplifting, that make you feel good, that came to mind when you heard me talking about the routine. Write down some things that come up, and then write down a routine. So if it's 20 minutes that you've got, maybe write a little schedule for it. If it's an hour that you've got, which would be great if you can fit loads of, imagine having an hour to yourself in the morning doing things that make you feel good. You own your day. But yeah, write them down. Make sure you write them down. You can change it every day. Don't think, oh, I'm not going to write it down because I'm not quite sure yet. Just write down your first draft. Get that done today. And yeah, because you're going to be starting tomorrow. Even if you only do one or two of those things, you are going to be starting tomorrow, and this is going to be something that you incorporate every day. Now, the second thing that I want you to take on board and to incorporate into your life, a second change, the second habit I want you to pick up is speaking life over your life. So you hear me bang on about this all the time. It's so important. Like, I can't even stress it enough. I sometimes want to just slap myself for the fact that I don't even remember, or I don't even take it on board and remember all the time how powerful my words are. I know it, but I don't use the tool. I don't use the power of my words, my voice, as much as I could and should. So when I realise that, I just get even more banging on about it. Banging on about it-ish. I bang on about it more, basically. My English is mad sometimes. But yeah, I want you to you're going to start speaking life over your life. See, I'm being bossy. You're going to have to start speaking life over your life daily. So you've got your affirmations, and you'll be receiving daily affirmations in the group. But also, I want you to just practice speaking life over your situation. So when someone asks you a question, being positive about that too, you know, in your speech. So away from the fact that what we hear affects how we think, and how we think affects how we feel. So that is something that is true, but you'd have to like practice it to see. And I'm sure you are, and I'm sure you've started already. But you will see the fruit. It's obvious, you know. Think about what people say, how much it affects us. Think about when someone makes a comment about us, how it makes us feel about ourselves. Our words are so powerful. When someone pays us a compliment, it has the power to change our mood, our vibe, and the way we feel about the thing they're talking about. You could think, you know, I hate my ears, and then someone goes, oh, you've got really cute ears. That word, that positive affirmation, that sentence of life will change how you feel. You will instantly feel like, maybe my ears aren't that bad, you know? So words have that power. But then also the opposite. When somebody says something negative and something horrible, think about how that affects you. I have some perfect examples. Personally, with me, when I was younger, I had a new perfume on. It was a gift that someone had got for me, and I didn't really know it wasn't the one that I usually wore, and I didn't really know if it was nice or not. But I went past somebody and they made a comment about, I think I'd like been dousing myself in it. I think when it's one that I'm not that familiar with, I don't mind wasting it as much. I know that sounds terrible, but I used to just put way more of this one on because I weren't trying to savour it. It was a gift and I liked it, but I just, weren't attached. Then I went past somebody, it was really strong, and they made a comment about it being one of the nicest smells I've ever smelled. And it then became my signature perfume. It then became the one that I wore constantly. So their words really spoke life into my life. And I guess it was me believing their opinion over my own, but it affected. We're all human. We all get, our things affect how we feel and what we think. And I didn't really have an opinion on the perfume anyway. So that's a way it was positive. And a negative way, again, when I was younger, I was on a bus and I was standing at the bottom of the stairs and some teenagers were upstairs and they were about to jump down. I was at the bottom of the stairs and one of the young people said, "Oh, I can't jump down the stairs because there's a massive girl at the bottom." Cut a long story short, that day is probably the day that I started watching what I ate, wanted to be not seen as massive, ate less. Basically, that interest in weight led to eating disorders. I didn't think about how I looked and what my body looked like and if I was big or small before that. And if anybody called me fat when I was younger, my mum used to just completely drive it out and just completely reaffirm me. And yeah, so when that was said, I was like, so when I was called fat when I was even younger, that was true. And yeah, started eating disorders. So our words have power. Now, you could be thinking, well, I'm not that sensitive, so words wouldn't affect me that much. Plus, I like my opinion more than anyone else's, so if someone complimented me, I wouldn't really care. Cool. Well, even if that is the case, then aside from that, the science to it is there was a study done in, I think it was Japan. You can Google the main words of this and have a look, because I've forgotten, I should have looked it up. But there was a study done, and this, basically, they were trying to figure out why it has been scientifically proven, or just proven, that when you speak to plants, they grow more. You know how people say that, it's true. So they were doing a study to figure out why. So water is something that plants need. So they got water, they put it under a microscope, and they spoke to the water. Now, when they spoke, they saw the particles react. So everyone was just speaking, But when they sang lovely songs or spoke lovely words or spoke in like a really, nice tone, the particles in the water moved at a really smooth and controlled and calm, and look how I'm moving, I'm really calm. That's how the particles in the water were moving. They were round, the edges were all smooth. And that's how they, when the nice tones and the singing and the positive words were spoken. When they did the opposite and they spoke negativity, shouted, was angry and, saying horrible words, the particles in the water became rigid. They had rigid edges and they were going around like this, all frantic. They were no longer flowing smooth. This was seen under the microscope. And we are 60% water. So if you don't feel like speaking life over your life will affect you because, you can feel a bit awkward. If we were to speak something into your life, so speaking goodness that you want to see. So if you're struggling with debt, a good affirmation, a positive affirmation that you could use would be, I am financially free. I am debt free. My finances are flourishing. But if you're still struggling every single day, you're going to be like, this isn't even working. What's the point in saying this? I'm not financially free. I feel silly just saying this. It's not. It's clearly not. Don't lose hope, because you can, whether you believe it or not, something happens when you speak goodness over yourself. So not only do your waters flow better, but you start to picture the things that you're saying. You start to be able to visualize them as you say them, and you should be doing that. And that is a way for you to create your own reality. That is a way for you to focus and stay focused on the things you want and to be led in directions and through experiences that bring those things out. You can speak things into existence. So there's that reason for speaking life over your life, and practicing that, you will see the fruit. Talking of fruit, actually, and my friend used this analogy when we were talking about speaking life, and she said, when you get a seed and you put it in the soil and you start to water it, funny that we're talking about water, and you start to water it, you have to water it every day. So picture the seed being you and picture the water being positive affirmation. So when I've skipped to the end. Pull up. I'll go into that in a minute. Typical. So yeah, when you put a seed in soil and you water it every day and you come back the next day and there's no leaves showing, you just water it again. You just water it again. You just water it again. So when you're saying, I am financially free all day, and whenever a financial situation pops up when it's about to stress you out, instead of saying, oh, I'm so broke, you're saying, I am financially free. I am debt free. You look in your bank and you're like, I've been saying this all day and nothing's there. The same with the water. I've been watering this plant every day, nothing's there. You don't give up. You keep watering it. And then, one day, a sprout. And then, whoosh, fruit. So, be patient and practice. Whether you believe in it or not, speaking life changes how things feel, changes the atmosphere, changes our waters, so our body reacts to positive words in a certain way. There's so much. Speak life over yourself, speak life over other people. Complimenting people can change their life, can give them hope, can make them feel good about themselves. And speak the things that you want to see in your life over and over again. And believe that you're going to see them. Picture them. Also, you need to be hearing and remembering certain things. Loads of stuff can distract us. Loads of uncomfortable situations can make us feel rubbish and like our lives crap and just so many negative feelings. If you make sure that you start your day and forever and get into the habit of it, saying good things about yourself, reminding yourself of the truth, and just uplifting yourself in that way, you will see and feel the difference. Might not be tomorrow morning as soon as you start, but you will. And you will find that they pop up at the right time and remind you of the right things perfectly. When you're feeling scared, you can just say out loud, I am fine. Everything's going to be fine. I am safe. People don't say that just to hope for the best. It's to change the atmosphere. It's to remind yourself, yeah, there could be a situation going on and, you're face to face with something that's scary. So you're not going to might not slip into affirmations then, but sometimes we feel fear for nothing. Sometimes anxiety causes us to feel fear. And for me, anxiety would send, I would get intrusive thoughts, and I still do, that cause anxiety. I would start out of nowhere thinking something about, I don't know, just going in the past and thinking about something I did and just start creating this anxious situation in my mind and start feeling guilty and start worrying about, oh man, just going into one. And what I do now is I just use my affirmations. I just say, not everything I think is real. I don't have to focus on the past. What is gone is gone. I am not defined by my mistakes. I am free from shame. I am free from guilt. Today is a fresh start. And it actually changes how I feel, because it all started with a thought. And what we say affects how we think. So if a thought made me feel rubbish, then thoughts are going to be able to make me feel good. So get yourself speaking goodness over yourself. And also, if anything's coming up and people say good luck, don't say things like, oh yeah, I probably ain't going to pass anyway. Or you got an exam, oh, good luck. Yeah, I'll probably have to retake it. Don't do that. Don't set that path. Even if you think, yeah, well, I don't want that one, it don't matter. Your brain just hears what you say. So if you say, oh, I'm probably going to fail, all right, then you'll fail then. So don't speak and think negative or rubbish. I know it's not going to happen like that in a day, but get into the practice of speaking positive, and then it will be easier to drive out the tendency to say negative things and to like talk down on ourselves. Our words have the power to bring life and death. So make sure you're speaking life over your life. I'm drumming it in. You've got your affirmations from me. Now I want you to go into your notebook, or if you've printed off the workbook, use the back pages, but you saw me roll my eyes because I want you to use your notebook. In your notebook, write down 10 affirmations that will help you in the things that you want to change. So if you wanted to become more punctual is one of the things you wanted to change over the 21 days, then create some affirmations that combat that. So you say, I am and will be on time. I am punctual. I am great at timekeeping. I know how to manage my time well. Write some affirmations around that. If you want to eat healthier, you can write down, I love healthy food. I am mindful about what I eat. I'm giving away the next bit. I am self-controlled. Also, another example, if you want to be free from fear, if you want to worry less and not see the bad and have anxiety about every situation, you can have some affirmations saying, I am free from fear. Things will work out better than I think. I am better than I think. Today will be a great day. I have nothing to worry about. The list goes on. So write down 10 affirmations that will support the changes that you want to make, and add those to the affirmations that you're going to be reading out for your morning routine and getting into the habit of remembering. And the final thing that I want to leave you with, that I want you to take on board and keep in mind, these are vital things. These three, I love doing the fingers. These three are vital things that are, you need to take on board during this course that will benefit you and your brain. So the third one is, I want you to now start thinking about what you eat. I want you to feed your brain. What you eat and drink affects your brain, not just your body. Your gut is your mental health is connected to your gut. Your mind and your gut are connected. I feel like I'm doing like head, shoulders, knees and toes. But yeah, distracted again. As I wrote in the workbook, I don't want you to feel bad and go down Guiltsville, but think about how you felt last week and think about the kind of things you ate. Like, obviously, we are not going to be consistent, but think about the majority. Did you eat mainly good and clean food, or did you mainly eat, processed and junk food? And then think about how you felt, because there will be a connection, there will be a correlation. If you feel that you are always feeling low and you always eat processed food and you always eat sweets, junk, and loads of red meat and stuff, then that is one of the things you're going to have to change. There's no point putting loads of energy into finding ways to manage your mental health in all these outside sources, when if you're not looking after what goes in your body, then it's a madness, basically. I am not going to say that I am perfect in this, clearly not. But if I was, I would have a lot easier days more often. And when I did take all this on board, all of the ways that I could benefit my brain through what I eat, and I did try it at once, but it was too much at once, and I ended up having a relapse, a very bad one. But I am more mindful, and when I did take it all on board, before the relapse, I felt amazing. I felt so different. I was able to focus, I was able to concentrate, I was able to prioritize better, I was able to regulate my emotions better. So much, I had more energy. Not that I need more energy, but sometimes my brain does. Like when I'm all over the place, I sometimes feel drawn to coffee, even though it can seem like my enemy. Calm down. Sometimes I just don't breathe. But even though it can seem like an enemy, I do find that it helps me to put my energy in one place. So even though I have more, eating better did that for me. I didn't need coffee, which has its come downs. So I'm going to post, you're going to see a blog post in the group, and it's called Managing My ADHD Brain, because I started my blog based on my ADHD, but now, basically it's not just for ADHD, it's just, that was the name of the blog. It's for all mental health. It's for preventing mental health. It's for bettering mental health in general. It will help every single person if you take these things on board, I promise you. These are not like opinionated, and these are the facts. These 3 things are facts. So thinking about what you ate last week might have kind of shown you a bit of, and don't get me wrong, you could eat healthy every single day and still struggle with how you feel because you are human. But if you are eating terribly, then, that has to change before we focus on other ways. That has to be sorted out. Taking that into consideration, and you don't need to expose what it is and how you eat, and you don't need to feel ashamed either because you're making changes now. But think about some realistic things that you could change and that you could incorporate into your daily diet for the next week and forever, but that you can start doing tomorrow that will make sure that you're getting more goodness in and you're refraining from as much badness as possible. Write down whatever comes to mind for you. When you read the blog post, you'll get some ideas and you can do more research of your own as well, of course. But yeah, share it with us. Share with the group, or let me know what kind of things you're taking on board, what kind of things you want to cut out, what this, explanation has kind of revealed to you that needs to change. And let's encourage each other. Let's share tips and let's hold each other accountable and check up on how we're getting on. Like I said, if you don't want to do that in the group openly, then feel free to send it over to me. I'll hold you accountable. Eat more fruit. No, I'm joking. But yeah, let's share. Let's get this stuff out in the open and make some commitments. The 2 things that I want you to make sure that you incorporate into this is drinking more water. It flushes out toxins that cause all sorts of negative physical effects and mental effects. So drinking more water. And I would recommend a minimum of 1.5 litres a day, and go up to 3 litres. Check before you try to think, no, I can drink 5, because I have heard stories about people drinking too much water and their organs suffering. So for me, I aim for 3 litres a day, but I make sure I drink at least 1.5, because otherwise I start feeling foggy, and there's so many benefits. I'm not going to go deep into how amazing water is right now, but I can. No, I'm joking. But yeah, make sure you're drinking more water. And like I said, it gives you energy. It makes you feel more focused. It makes you, and this is bad to say because I don't want to promote drinking because, drinking causes all sorts of problems and anxiety when done out of moderation. But even if you're a person that suffers from terrible hangovers and ends up wasting a few days of your life, if you drink more water and you're in the habit of it, that won't happen because hangovers are just dehydration. It's good for your skin. It clears up your skin and gives you a glow. It's good for your digestive system. The list goes on. We're 60% water, and we need to always be refreshing and replenishing. There's several benefits. So I want you to make sure you're starting to drink more water, and I want you to cut out or start by cutting down on how much refined sugar you eat. If you're addicted to sugar, switch to brown sugar and have less. So if you have it in your hot drinks or your cereal or in cakes or whatever, I don't know, make it brown sugar and use less. So it's good to cut things down before you cut them out, because then you can end up craving them at such a high level that you relapse and then you feel awful and you find it hard to start again. So if you're addicted to sugar, start cutting down. And if you have to have it, if you can cut out sugar in your hot drinks, great. Maybe replace it with honey. That's actually nice. Do that. I'm not showing off. I'm just giving an example because I had to stop. I started that sentence. I had to start from fresh like you two. I don't have sugar in any of my hot drinks anymore, or on any cereal, but I do sometimes eat loads of chocolate. So there's balance. I try to refrain from it, and I am mindful that this isn't something that I should snack on, maybe crisps instead. But yeah, so I cutting out sugar is so important. Sugar is, not only does it affect your organs in the worst way. It's like it's literally poison. But you have come downs. You get emotionally attached to it. It's weird. It is so weird. But it makes it impossible to regulate your emotions if you're eating loads of sugar. So cut that down or cut it out, and read the blog post, and of course do more research and share more research if you want. If you feel like, I know how it gets, like, what, that don't sound right. No, I love sugar. Sweets make me feel good. Yeah, because you probably eat them so they make you feel good, and then before you can get a come down, you're eating more. So then you become addicted because you're using it to regulate your moods. Or you start to feel a come down coming and you think, oh, let me have some sweets or chocolate. I'm going to, not all comfort eating is, let me get into a blanket and just eat loads of food because I don't want to think about other things that make me sad. That is a form of comfort eating, but that's not the only. There's a subconscious form of comfort eating where we eat the things that make us feel happy because we're scared that our mood is going to go low, or we feel that our mood is changing, so we eat to replace the mood. You can't be doing that. If you're going to eat to replace the mood, then cut up fruit and act like it's a bowl of sweets or a bowl of popcorn, or have popcorn. Sugar, you're going to have to say bye. You're going to have to break up with sugar. I'm sorry. Leave it for special occasions. Poison yourself on special occasions. I'm joking. Look how bad I'm making you feel. I'm sorry. I eat sugar all the time. But in an ideal world, I would not. I would eat natural sweeteners. So yeah, bear all that in mind, and I'm really looking forward to hearing about your positive changes. So please feel free to update me, ask any questions, and share with the rest of the group. I'm really looking forward to hearing how much this benefits you. I'm really excited to hear the different things you guys are going to be doing for your morning routine. And yeah, remember, if you do miss a day, just start the next day. Just don't miss loads of days. Just don't stop. Don't give up. You might miss bits out, you might fall back, you might delay, but just don't give up, because essentially the next 4 weeks can change your life for the better in so many ways. So I am rooting for you, I'm praying for you. I want to say good luck. You don't need luck. You're not lucky, you're blessed. Basically, you got this.